guys, I'm here in Old Town Warsaw. This is the oldest portion of this urban city, Warsaw, in Poland. Today, I'm going to be taking you on a really interesting tour because we're going to be going to a royal palace in Old Town Warsaw. And this was rebuilt and fixed later because a lot of the city was demolished during World War II. However, I assure you it's going to be so awesome in there. You'll see pictures from real-time painters and the rooms of several princes and princesses.
Hello guys, welcome to the Royal Palace in Warsaw, Poland. This is going to be an amazing journey with all you guys, and we're going to see some explicit furnitures, pieces of the palace, and other parts. One thing significant about this room was that ceiling, where you can see a portrayal of their mythology of how fate will return what happens good to you. And or else around the room, you'll see several paintings of several famous rulers who were once in accordance or in relations with the people or of this palace. As you can see, so many of the frames and furniture in this room are golden plated. This adds on to the richness. Now we enter another exquisitely beautiful room with a lot of gold painting and plating, where we see another large picture of another royal gathering. What you will see now is a statue of what looks like an old melancholy man. But indeed, this is the god of Saturn. While it might seem like an unlucky symbol, it actually is the quite opposite. And on his back, he carries planet Earth. The roof of the room is extremely large as well. And around the room, you'll see other wooden statues and beautiful chandeliers. Here you'll see some even more statues. And the best part about this tour is you get to read along the way. So make sure you don't forget to do that. Pause the video if you have to. We see another amazing photo. This of a ruler negotiating with somebody else. And here's an amazing painting of a ruler at war. Throughout the entire tour, you'll get to see statues of several prominent figures. Here are more of the paintings and gold plating of not just this room, but many of the other rooms that are going to come soon. This is another beautiful room, especially one that I was completely astonished by, with these long, beautiful mirrors, with amazing statues and the old-fashioned candles back then. The painting and the way this room was so well done was awesome. Even the fireplaces, the furniture, and the walls, you could tell that this was restored and even created with a lot of hard work. And this piece of furniture you see here was the throne, where the king would sit. One amazing thing about this palace is Wherever you go, most of the things there have a lot of significance. For example, this throne room and the statues, they have a lot of symbolism and significance of the power. And as you can see here, we see some gorgeous pieces of furniture. This is one of the old type of candles that we see back then. And also these are very, very prominent in old style of movies from the royal kind of reign and eras. Here we obviously see the laurel, which is a sign of a king and their power and all the strength that they bring to a kingdom. This is just one of the elaborate doors and windows. Now we will be entering a brand new room, and this is an amazing room that I'd like to share, because not only are there beautiful gold-plated frames, but in this room there are some beautiful pieces of furniture, as well as the royal family's bookcase. Along with that, you'll get to see the fireplace. I believe this was known as the dressing room. And throughout this room, we see some beautiful pieces of antique furniture, so many beautiful paintings, as well as a gorgeous fireplace for the family, mainly the king, to warm up. Here, as you can see, there are more pieces of furniture, as well as a globe. There are 2 globes for say. Throughout this tour, there were also several people by the rooms making sure that we obeyed the rules. So make sure when you go there, make sure that you keep all of this in mind. Here are some of the more gold-plated furniture. Keep in mind, a lot of the paintings from throughout this tour are by some of the most famous artists of their time. After exiting this grandfather clock, we are now in another gorgeous, big, ball-like room with splendid, large windows, as well as some amazing pieces of furniture. Here you might have been able to see where he probably would have worked or met. Here's another piece of the gold-plated furniture. Most likely the king's bedroom. And as you can see, he did not have a long bed because he most likely slept sideways. And during the day, if he wanted to rest, this is definitely a place where he would have rested. On the chair, you can also see some fancy teacups, which is a common delight for the people and royal families of Europe, especially the ones in luxury, to enjoy and indulge in. Now, exiting this room, we see another explicit gorgeous room, full of red and several paintings. This is the weaponry and sword of the actual royal family from the time. They have kept this here and kept it safe and made sure it was well taken care of. Here is another throne. On the roof of the room, on the top, we can also see another one of the gods coming down and taking care of the people. Another common belief that you would have seen being followed then, and painted on to keep this belief following through. The idea of fate and karma. Even though the furniture looked amazing throughout the tour, we weren't allowed to touch anything and sit on any of the antique furniture. However, you might occasionally be able to find a chair and sit. Another amazing thing that I liked about this tour is that throughout the tour, there was headphones and a set of auditory guide, which we could use to help us learn more about the room. Here is another fireplace. As you can see, throughout the palace, there is a lot of the pattern of having a liquid fireplaces, as well as that beautiful red carpet wall. Here is another of the throne with green jade pillars. This is actually the prayer room where he would have prayed. And here again, we see a beautiful hall. This was one of my favorite parts of the royal palace because not only were there beautiful mirrors to take a picture of, but also beautiful pieces of ceramic, as well as beautiful statues being showcased. While I'm going through this tour, take a look. Here's another beautiful room, and here we see a very famous style of royal curtains, along with a lot more furniture. This is where they would have met, and this is the setup. From this time, even King George III of England was here meeting with the kings and royal family in Warsaw. Here are more of the ceramic pieces that you will see. Aren't they just so beautiful to take in and enjoy? Here, this is another explicit room with a lot of more carpets and paintings, as well as even some antique clocks. Here, you'll probably find a little more pictures of more of the royal people associated with this royal palace of Old Town Warsaw. Make sure you take a read at all of the posters that I will be showing because these parts are definitely going to be important. You'll definitely want to know some of these facts. And as always, we can see some of the more gold. And here is the antique clock and the dresser I was talking about. If you ask me, I truly think that it is like living a Disney movie in real life. This palace is so beautiful, and if I haven't said it already, I would definitely recommend that you come and check this place out. Here are some of the more paintings that you'll see here, one of the bigger ones, and it kind of shows a more royal commemoration. Here is the desk of the postmaster, or the person of the post office, and it actually wasn't typical, even though he was the fourth one. No one really worked in this place. Now, finally, in my opinion, the grand finale is the courtroom. You can see all of the chairs aside. For me, even though it really wasn't entering like a king, by the way, here's the map, it was so intimidating because I feel like this room is so big, I can hardly imagine what it would be like to enter back then with so many people staring at you and being able to see the king on his throne in all full galore. And now I will be walking through this room in slow motion. And it was a very long way, all the way to the top. Throughout this courtroom, you'll be able to see pictures of certain alliances and maybe things that were important to the court at this time. And as usual, a lot of this is coated in red furniture, like a lot of the walls around were with red carpet. At the very front of this room, you will see the Constitution. And I think it was just so amazing how they were able to have the Constitution signed in front of this beautiful room, and it was right next to the throne for display for people to see. Here is a closer look of what the throne looked like. As always, there are beautiful candles and gorgeous mirrors for you to look and dazzle around. And here is one of the final rooms with more paintings of more prominent figures that may not have always been part of the royal family. Here you'll see some more astounding photos of more things that were related to history. For example, you might see pictures of war and a king surrendering. Here we see a royal outburst happening inside court. Here is another painting of the court, and you are able to just look outside and enjoy the view too, which I think makes it extremely special here. This was when they had their victory against Russia. As you can see, a guy kneeling down, asking and surrendering, as well as another king giving up his crown and hoping for peace through this surrender. This was a very important moment in history, and I think I am so glad to be able to see a real portrait and a painting of what it must have truly been like at that time. And with these paintings, I now end the tour. You should definitely check this beautiful palace out. There are so many beautiful paintings, amazing furniture, and just amazing rooms. The way they were able to restore this and take care of it after truly, truly amazes me. And with that, enjoy your final minute of the glorious palace and the beautiful paintings.